Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. The community near the Antonio Nariño School insists on requesting a definitive solution to the flooding that occurs annually in this sector during the winter. In this regard, the secretary argued that the solution is the storm drainage.
Winter has turned into an ordeal for those who live and travel in the vicinity of the Antonio Nariño School due to the constant settling of water that occurs in the place.
There are schools here, and when the downpours come, all the water that comes down the hill fills up here. The kids have nowhere to go. They have to have another sewer system built.
In this regard, the Secretary of Infrastructure, Ravel Archibald, said that the solution to this problem is the storm drainage master plan. In the same sense, Archibald affirmed that the departmental government is in the process of obtaining the resources.
We are working on the improvement of the pumping stations, and we are in the process of adding a budget and a future budget appropriations to improve the pumping stations, not only for Antonio Nariño and all the educational institutions, but for the entire department in general. There are about 8 pumping stations. This sector receives all the water that comes from the Gaviota sector from on the hill, and the existing channels are insufficient. A 1-hour downpour floods this entire sector. The definitive solution is that the master plan for the rainwater drainage, thanks to the efforts of Governor Everett Harkins.
And today is the celebration of the World Day of Suicide Prevention. This is why the Departmental Health Secretariat reminds the community about the mental health phone number.
Hello, listen, all the TV viewers. We say hello from here from the town of the island because we want to tell you that today they celebrate the World Suicide Prevention Day. This very important day for the mental health of all the people in the world and also in the department. For this, we talked to an official of the Secretariat of Health who told us about the activities that will be commemorated in this special day.
Within the spaces for suicide care is the mental health care line.
La línea de atención en salud mental, que es atendida por
The main activity is the mental health hotline, which is attended by a psychologist, and this line, for those who listen to us, is 513-0802 extension 290, where a professional attends them, orients them, guides them, and channels them through the complexity that they manifest. It is a confidential line, but it is also important to cross with the care entities such as the health promotion agencies and CRUE, which can have an immediate impact.
Very important to remember the community, the attention line of the mental health in our island, that is 513-0801 extension 290. In our central broadcast, we will bring more data about the prevention of suicide in our department. This is all information we report from here, from the town of the island. Continue to listen studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And the Ministry of Health and Social Protection announced that they are moving forward in the formulation process of the 10-year health plan 2022-2031 in the archipelago.
The Ministry of Health led the meeting with the authorities of the archipelago in order to initiate the territorial vote that will allow the inclusion of the population needs in the Colombian Health Roadmap for the next 10 years. Carlos Pinzon, manager of the 10-year Public Health Plan 2022 of 2031 of the Ministry of Health, informed that in this initial work corresponding to the visit to the island, the actors must participate or identify. Also, the territorial deployment and 2 processes will be carried out, one in Providence and the other in San Andres.
En esa mesa de trabajo se dialogaron 3.
In this work table, 3 specific topics were discussed. First, the resources that will guarantee the social inclusion processes. Second is the territorial deployment and the proposal for this deployment. And we will hold 2 events, one in San Andres and the other in Old Providence. And the third is a work table to establish the best development methodologies.
The deployment will be guaranteed by the Ministry of Health and the Governor's Office, and additionally the need to include all the racial population and the citizens in general of San Andres, Providence, and Caclina is contemplated.
And among the questions from the community is the doubt of when will be the inauguration of the farmers market that was delivered to the departmental administration on June 2nd of this year. And 3 months later, it is still remain unused. Faced with this concern, the Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries clarified.
The farmers market is a space located in the Rockwall sector where the main idea will be that the farmers can safely market their crops and local products. The goal is that for local population to start consuming local products, food grown and harvested on the island. The head of the Agriculture and Fisheries portfolio added that he is seeking alliances with association and organization to determine the quotas for the people that will occupy the cubicles available.
This is a local market that we have here. This is a raizal opportunity to offer the product, and not even say offer. This we look for, they have commercialization during they have the farmer market here. So this will be like the accomplished. And another thing what the Secretary of Agriculture is looking is in develop the commercialization, not only in that point, you know, we're looking in the commercializing and like in, we have right now like 6 or 4 alliance that El Punto, Regatta, they have been taking agriculture thing. So what we were, the point too is that in each one of them department we commercialize like a local stand that makes sure say we are local.
The farmers market will be a fixed place where the inhabitants of the department will be able to find local agricultural products. The Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries assured that as soon the adjustment and alliances are gathered, the place will be inaugurated with a big fair.
And in other news, higher education institutions are opening their enrollments for the first semester of 2022. This is the case of the National University Caribbean campus.
The National University of Colombia announced that from August 20 till October 6, the enrollment process will be open to study in the first academic semester of 2022.
The inscription them open until the 6th October. What you need is what is the requirement to apply to the program is first you have to finish 10 and 11 grade in the island in one school in San Andres or in Providence, and you have to have your OCRE that recognize you as the resident in the island. So what you need to send or to bring to the university to apply to one of the inscription. First of all, you have to bring your document, copy of your document, copy of your OCRE, and copy of the registration of the ICFES. We need that number to inscribe you. The inscription is totally free.
On this occasion, the National University will not conduct exams but will take into account the results of the ICFES Saber 11 test for its admission process.
In this opportunity, we know when apply the exam when normally the university apply. What we want to use as selection to select the students them is the Prueba Saber, and who finish school have to apply or present the Prueba Saber from 2014 till now. And we have, it's important to tell the young people then from the island that we have 3 new programs. From last year with the AFA medicine, and in this opportunity we want AFA arquitectura, artes plásticas, and construction.
Once you have sent your data and they are correct, the National University will begin the evaluation process and will publish the result and scores of the admission process on December 13 of 2021.
And with a wide range of cultural offerings from the islands, the Raizal Women's Network will hold an entrepreneurship fair.
Nearly 300 Raizal women gather in various committees that make up the Raizal Women's Network and will hold an entrepreneur fair where they will offer handcraft and gastronomy with the participation of local artists and theatrical works.
We are going to be here for 2 days, September 10th and 11th. The idea is that we show from our ancestry all that we, the Raizal women, can do in the territory so that it does not continue to be lost.
The fair joins the effort of the Raizal Women Network for the vindication of Raizal ethnic rights.
To all the people who contributed in one way or another from the private and public sector, thank you for your support, and come and see that we are going to have a theatrical play to also show our ancestry in this way.
The organizer of the event hoped to count with the active participation of citizens in order to achieve the objective of promoting the culture and tradition of the archipelago.
Now let's learn about other events that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
CORALINA trained 12 young people who are part of the social service of the archipelago's water resources, students from the First Baptist School and the Sagrada Familia Educational Institution, who were trained on environmental issues such as the Biosphere Reserve, Land 1973, and water resources. The young people also accompanied the environmental education team in a awareness-raising session for the community on issues such as cutting and burning, preservation of species, the plastic law, and noise. Uniformed members of the National Police have been intensifying awareness campaigns in the department aimed at drivers of vehicles, motorcycles, and pedestrians, where they are invited to drive responsibly, abide by traffic signs. Police seeks to raise awareness among citizens who daily have the responsibility to drive a car, remembering that irresponsibility put not only their integrity at risk, but also the lives of others.